Okay, let's talk about the wife. No, not your wife who leaves the kitchen cupboards open every time she makes tea and she doesn't close them. I don't understand. How do you make tea every time? Like you very much vividly open the kitchen cupboards, but you then No, we are talking about Showmax's The Wife. My last experience with South African soap operas was back in the golden ages of Rhythm City's Scandal and Generations.
Once, twice,
3 times, damn it,
You know, when Ketiwe turned down the opportunity to become part of the Avengers.
or not.
Literally, Nick Fury offered her the position to join the Avengers and she was like, no, like it's in your name, Ketio, you are the chosen one. What went wrong there? I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty much my last experience with South African soap operas. As captivating and engaging as these soap operas are, you know, they can get a bit convoluted over time with all the plots they try and tackle. They do get quite formulaic. And they always have a killer first half, you know, the golden ages. But then eventually it all just becomes a huge big blur. Like, I don't even know what the main plot of Rhythm City was. Like, it was just taking it episode after episode, not knowing exactly what the main plot is. There were so many plots that get juggled into these shows. I first heard about The Wife late last year. You know, the internet was going crazy about it. Everyone was watching it, so I decided to, you know, give it a shot. I watched the first few episodes and honestly I was taken aback. I was hooked. This show is laced with crack, so much so that I decided I'm gonna make a whole video about it. So bear with me for the next few minutes while, you know, I take you on this emotional roller coaster that is this show and we get into the meat of The Wife. Of course, this comes with a huge spoiler warning. I'm about to spoil the whole first and second season of The Wife. So, you know, if you wanted to see it, definitely go check it out and come back and watch this video. And, you know, if you continue at your own risk now, because I'm about to spoil the whole damn thing. To be honest, the plot for this show is a bit too thick. I don't think I can condense all of that into just one video. So I won't be going in depth. I'll just be skimming through most of it, honestly. Inspired by the 2015 novel Shomu the Wife by Dudu Busani Dube, The Wife is essentially a love story about a doe-eyed journalist, Mahlomu, who falls in love with a taxi driver, not knowing that he and his brothers are behind the cash-in transit heist that she is investigating. As she marries into the Zulu family, we learn more about the taxi-owning band of brothers, their ambitions, their bonds, and of course, their wives. I say this because not all of them are married into the family. Now that of course is just the initial plot of the show, but of course in true soap opera fashion, they take you on a roller coaster of lies, love, betrayal, blood, infidelity, taxi routes, more betrayal, taxi war, prison time, drug busts, weed edibles, DNA taste, everything is in this show. This show goes everywhere. The show opens up by introducing us to all the Zulu brothers. We are first introduced to Mqele, who is the thoughtful and romantic brother. He's a taxi driver that our protagonist falls in love with. As sweet and loving as he is, he does have uncontrollable anger issues and downright manipulative, you know, tendencies. And is also an ice cream addict. The next brother we're introduced to is Ngobezitha, who is the brash and abrasive brother. He's very confrontational, has excellent beard care, and honestly does not think before he acts. He's very impulsive. There's Sambulo, my favorite brother of all of them, honestly. He's the smartest, he gets shit done, he's cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't unnecessarily lash out like the rest of his brothers, and you know, eventually this pays off for him. Then we have Kawe. I'd say he's also kind of the smart and caring brother. Somehow always has a beer in his hands. Then we have Nkosana, the stoic father figure who has been leading this band of brothers ever since they lost their parents. So after this introduction to all these brothers, we're introduced to our protagonist Mahlomu, who gets into a small accident with the taxi driver, who turns out to be none other than Kawe. one of the brothers. His heart skips a beat. He's taken, you know, by Mahlomu and her beauty. He's sure that this is the woman he's going to marry. Later on at the taxi rank, he tells his brother Mqhele about this wonderful woman he met, and it's like, this woman took my breath away the second I saw her. This is the woman I'm gonna marry. You know, he's going all out to explain this to his brother. His brother's just there eating scopas, could give two fucks. And as he is explaining this, you know, she walks in. Mqhele notices her. Then he proceeds to pull off the biggest dick move ever by taking his brother's taxi and, you know, in essence taking the girl from him. Kawe begins to, of course, resent Mqhele for this, and this, you know, puts their brotherhood at a bit of a shaky state. It basically ruins their brotherhood a little bit. Mqhele works his magic in the taxi on Hlomu, and she's charmed, you know, she's also taken aback. And oh, I forgot to mention that she has a fiance. Yep, she's engaged. But don't worry about him. She just cheats on him multiple times, basically puts his life in danger. And eventually leads him to marry Mqhele, and thus becomes the wife, pretty much. From here on out, the story goes into all sort of places and gets wild, a bit too wild for me to summarize and condense into one video. The show is basically centered around the Zulu family. So the first season focuses mainly on Mqhele and Hlomu's relationship, their ups, their downs, and now Hlomu being the protagonist, you're kind of supposed to be rooting for her and her relationship, but I just had a very difficult time doing that because I couldn't stop thinking about how dirty they did my boy Sandile. Not only that, her relationship with Mqhele isn't necessarily the healthiest. The people around her warn her multiple times that she's getting herself into a dangerous life, but she completely ignores this, and I'm not convinced that her love for Mqhele is honestly that strong. Rooting for a relationship just feels kind of weird, especially after Mqhele physically abuses her and refuses to let her leave the relationship pretty much. They try to paint this in like a nice romantic light, but I don't know, for me it just felt a little bit weird. But hey, overall they had a beautiful relationship, they had a beautiful wedding. Actually no, people died at the wedding. Nothing in this relationship is working out or is good. I don't understand why she's still in that relationship. Another thing they focus on in the first season is Ngoba and Mandisa's relationship. Now Mandisa is not technically married into the Zulu family, and she's kind of angry about this. You know, she has a child with Ngoba, yet she's still not married into the Zulu family, and she's a very abrasive and confrontational person. She stands up for herself. Honestly, one of my more favorite characters in the show.
Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
She absolutely hates Mahlomu, mainly because, you know, she married into the Zulu family quite quickly and managed to win the hearts and minds of all the Zulu brothers very easily, very quickly, and this really boils her to the core. So that the traditional wedding she has a huge influence on Ngoba, as she tends to be the main driver behind some of his actions. The first season also focuses heavily on the bond shared between the Zulu brothers, as we get a glimpse into their past and what happened with their parents, how they came to be, and all that. Hi, sorry to interrupt your video watching experience. This is me, different t-shirt Quentin, here to remind you to leave a like and subscribe. You know, what are you doing? If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, I'm not angry, I'm just severely disappointed. Alright, back to the video. Another focus is the Majola's revenge plot. Now let me break this down. The Zulu family basically usurped the Majolas in a taxi association by killing their father and taking his spot. Throughout the whole show, the Majolas are constantly plotting against the Zulus, and they continuously ruin their lives without them even knowing. Like, the Zulus have no idea who their enemies are, and it's weird because the Majolas never really hide their hate for the Zulu family. They make it very verbal throughout the whole show that we don't like you guys. You guys killed our father. I hope, like, you guys forgot the part where you well, you killed our father, so we have to do something. But like the Zulus are always like, what is going on? Who are these people doing all these things to us? Number one, the Majolas burned their house, and they wonder like, I don't know who burned their house. Okay, that one I gave a pass. They're like, I don't know who burned the house, but literally it was right there. The Majolas don't fucking like you, and the house just mysteriously burns a few weeks after. I'll leave that one. Another one, someone attacks the wedding. They get to a wedding, it's a whole Game of Thrones situation. People start shooting at Mahlomo and Mkhele's wedding. People die. Sambulo's girlfriend dies. That was a very sad moment. And yet, they still wonder, who are these people? But it's like, bro, like you basically usurped this seat by killing the Majola's brother and father. Then you wonder who your enemies are. Your enemies are right in front of you. So the one thing that really grinds my gears about the first season is the Zulu family's obliviousness, to the people around them. I just don't understand how they don't see that their enemies are right there in front of them. So throughout the first season, the Zulu brothers are trying to build up some money to release Zandile from prison. Zandile is Nkosana's wife, who gets introduced in the second season. And the first season pretty much ends with the plan to get her out of prison after Mandisa burns the money that they were going to use to bail her out, and now they have to like literally replace her in prison. That's what they do. They literally replace her with another woman in prison. It's crazy. The second season kind of falls off for me. It is a bit more slow-paced and directionless. It doesn't feel as intentional as the first season. It's starting to feel as if they're winging it and just making things up. At least that's what I thought, until I learned that it's inspired by the follow-up novel Zandile the Resolute by the same author. The second season introduces the Zandile character, Nkosana's wife, who was in prison for 10 years for the murder of her mother, according to the book. She's strong, determined, and loves her family. However, this character does kind of feel off. I'm not really buying the chemistry between her and Nkosana. I'm not sure if this character is just suffering from Kanyimbao's flat acting or just the character's overall poor writing. I'm not sure. I think it's the latter, because looking at Kanyimbao's other performances, she can definitely put on a show. So I don't understand what is going on. I am like 19 episodes in, and I just cannot care about the Zandile character or her relationship at all. They have no chemistry, and I'm saying this after an intense 2 hours fan service sex scene they made us sit through. I don't understand why it had to be that long. That's what she said. But honestly, that sex scene was way too long, way too vivid. The second season does feel like it's drowning in a lot of plot points. There's so much happening, it's hard to keep track exactly. This is the whole Zandile versus Shlomo thing, and another thing that happens. So 19 episodes in, the prison lady that they used to replace Zandile, remember when I told you about that? Guess what? Nkosana kisses her. I don't understand. Why does he do this? Like, they never even once allude to them having some sort of relationship. I don't understand why he goes to the prison and talks to her and they end up kissing. It just doesn't make sense. Not only that, we find out 2 minutes later, in the same episode, 2 minutes later, that he has a fucking heart attack.
Wenzeni Nkosana? Kumele inhliziyo.
But guess what? The heart attack is fake. It was all just part of one big marriage proposal. Was you kissing the prison lady part of the marriage? What is going on? That was just one of the more confusing things in the second season for me. Oh, I forgot to mention that Shlomo cheats on Mkhele with Kawe, and then she ends up falling pregnant. And then there's a whole whose baby is this thing in the second season. The chemistry between Mandisa and Zandile is pretty cool, I guess. The Sambulo leadership arc might make me stay. I like seeing him as the leader. I feel like it was long overdue, and throughout the whole first season, I was waiting for all these things he's been doing to kind of pay off, and they do pay off in the second season, but not in a way that I like. I don't see myself finishing this second season, honestly. It does still have its engaging moments, but I'm honestly gonna check out, and I feel like most people are gonna check out of the show soon too. I might just check it out as the episodes keep getting released, just to see where it goes, but I honestly don't see myself going through it. The second season will probably be just where I end. So my thoughts on The Wife is, overall it's a pretty great show. It definitely exceeded my initial expectations. However, like many soap operas, I believe they're only so many twists, turns, and plot juggling that the audience can take before they kind of check out. One of the things that irk me is that, the dialogue could have been handled a little bit better. I am pulled away from some of the more intense scenes by the characters saying the most basic stuff. But I suspect this is because of direct quotes from the book. I know, it just feels weird and off. A huge criticism for the show is, all the deviation from the source material, and this has generated a lot of outrage amongst the book readers. And as much as it is a huge bummer that the show will never capture the true essence of the book, I am tempted to just say, suck it up. I'm sorry, this is very similar to the manga versus anime and comic versus movie argument. Yeah, you're probably right, but shut up. I say this because adaptations are really so skillfully done that there's such a small number of movies and shows that have truly managed to capture the essence of their source material. So it doesn't really surprise me when these production companies take some creative liberties and sometimes completely ignore important plot points. The show does have a great, wonderful, talented cast. We do get great standout performances from Bonko Khoza and Abdul Khoza. Zikhona Zodlaga absolutely kills the role of Omandisa. Another great performance is from Shlomu's twin brother Langa, who is played by Linda Majola, TikToker turned actor. And this, I heard, was his first acting gig, and he absolutely kills it. I hear there's talks of the third season, but hey, I don't know. The way the second season is going, I don't see myself ever finishing this show. I don't know, it feels like it's going to be one of those stretched out shows with 10 plus seasons, and I don't see myself getting to the end of it. I was invested in the story from the first season. Second season completely fell off. But in conclusion, I'd say this is a show definitely worth checking out. The first season more than the second. I'm going to keep emphasizing that because the first season is fire. It is action packed. It definitely gets you hooked. But the second season, I know that is a huge major fall off. In conclusion, The Wife is a pretty great show. Has a wonderful story, talented actors. I think anyone will enjoy it. Definitely check it out. I would definitely suggest it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys are watching this show, if you have any other shows that you think are also laced with a little bit of crack that I should be checking out, let me know in the comments below. I know this show has quite a huge fan base and mixed opinions on it. Some people love it, some people hate it. Let me know where you stand with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you for letting me into your wonderful homes. Looks pretty great. If you haven't washed the dishes in a while, I should probably get to that. Anyways, stay safe. See you guys in the next video. Peace.